Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So obviously there's a ton of excitement, a ton of energy, a lot of hype surrounding this Jets team entering 2023, and rightfully so. I mean, there's so many different things to look forward to here. I mean, whether you're a Jet fan or not, I mean, the national media, I feel like talks about the Jets every single day now. And no, it's been insane. But in this one, I really wanted to focus in on the 6 things that stand out to me. In other words, the 6 reasons why I think Jets fans, or really fans in general, should get excited about this team in 2023. So first off, you know exactly what I'm going to say, right? It's Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, going from Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Mike White, to A-Rod. I mean, think about that. We're going from arguably the worst quarterback in football in Zach Wilson to a top 5 in one offseason. The Jets won 7 games last year. Not to mention all the times that we shot ourselves in the foot on special teams, had horrendous play calls, bad game plans, penalties all around, special teams blunders, injuries all over the place. Overall, a pretty young team. We still managed to get 7 wins last season. Are you kidding me? Now we just insert A-Rod into the lineup. I mean, that's a playoff team. You know, and look, last season, I know a lot of people are talking about the down year, right? Is Aaron Rodgers like starting to fall down a cliff here? Last season was kind of the first step of that. I mean, we're looking at a guy who threw for just under 3,700 passing yards, 26 TDs, 12 INTs with a broken thumb. At 38 years old, I mean, the Jets haven't been able to sniff that production in years. So even in Aaron Rodgers' down year, his bad year, that's miles beyond anything that the Jets have been able to put together at the quarterback position in, again, literal years here. So, and then also keep in mind, we have the back-to-back MVPs to fall back on here. Just a couple of years ago. It's not like he won these awards back in 2008 and 2009, and he's still like hanging his hat on them. No, he's a 4-time MVP winner in total. 2011, 2014, 2020, and then 2021. But the point is, 2 of them came just a couple of years ago. Okay, with the same OC that the Jets have in-house. So, I mean, with Aaron Rodgers, you're getting the veteran experience, you're getting the off-the-field knowledge, you're getting the on-field production, and you're also getting a familiar face to Allen Lazard, Nathaniel Hackett, Randall Cobb, and Billy Turner. Okay, so next up, number 2, I think overall, the roster is just better than what it was a year ago, right? I mean, just let's flat out look at the additions. Along with Aaron Rodgers, the Jets signed Allen Lazard a 4-year deal, McCole Hardman 1-year contract worth $6 million. They traded a 7th-round pick for Chuck Clark. They brought in Al Woods and Quentin Jefferson from the Seattle Seahawks. Are you kidding me? 2 new bodies on the defensive line. Granted, they did lose Nathan Shepard and Sheldon Rankins, but I would rather have Jefferson and Woods. You look at Will McDonald in the first round. You look at Joe Tippmann in the second round. Keep in mind the Jets also added more players to the roster. Billy Turner, Randall Cobb, who else? Tim Boyle. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this locker room. There was last year. And now factoring in all these new acquisitions, all these new talented players that fit the culture, fit the scheme, and really are trying to get the Jets to where they want to go, I think is going to be obviously huge. Now, you can kind of push back and say, well, hold on a second. Buffalo is still a great team. Miami got a lot better. I personally, I think New England's going to be better than what they showed last year, just solely because Matt Patricia's gone from the OC position, and they brought in a legitimate OC in Bill O'Brien. And, of course, they had a couple nice acquisitions as well, Juju Smith-Schuster. But at the end of the day, and, of course, looking at the AFC, it's obviously stacked, but the Jets were a good team last year at 7 wins, had 1,000,010 things go wrong, still walked away with 7. It's a year-to-year thing. I totally understand it, but man, when you look at the core of last season and now you load on top of that all of these acquisitions, I mean, we are in a really, really good position moving forward. Okay, so next up is pretty simple, but it's extremely relevant here. It's player health. I mean, think about all the starters, all the impact players, all the notable players that missed multiple games due to injury last season. It is mind-blowing. Mekhi Becton missed the entire season, back-to-back entire seasons. Elijah Vera Tucker missed 10 games. Max Mitchell, 11 games. Dwayne Brown missed 5 games. Breece Hall, the team's starting running back, arguably a guy who could have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, missed 10 games with the ACL. Corey Davis, another starter, missed another 4 games. I understand that this isn't Madden, right? We can't just flip injuries off and just say, okay, all these guys are going to come back and they're going to be 110% and they're going to be better than ever. I get that, but I mean, when we're just looking at a list like that, bullet pointing all these different players and saying, oh yeah, this guy missed double-digit games, this guy missed double-digit games, this guy's a young core piece, this is a building block for the future, oh, he's one of the best players in the, best offensive lineman in the league in AVT, those things add up. Though, and keep in mind, I didn't write down Zach Wilson. I didn't talk about Mike White. Any of those. These are the ones that I feel like personally are heavily impacting 2023. So to have these guys back, to hopefully have everybody back and ready to go by, roughly training camp, it's going to be massive. Again, factored in with the additions on top of it. Okay, next up, the fourth reason here, the defense projects really well into next season. I mean, think about all the young players on the squad last year that were just producing. Quentin had the All-Pro season, Sauce Gardner, obviously, Defensive Rookie of the Year, but even other players too, like Michael Carter in the slot. DJ Reed was one of the best free agency signings of the offseason a year ago, right? We have Jermaine Johnson going into year 2 of the defense. I mean, I'm extremely excited to see what he can do, maybe in a more expanded role with the team next season. Brought back Quentin's brother, Quincy Williams, on a multi-year deal. Big run stuffer, Al Woods. Pass rushing defensive tackle, Quentin Jefferson. Both guys coming in from the Hawks. I mean, this defense is locked. It's loaded. It's ready to go, man. Like, I'm more so a defensive guy as opposed to offense. I like offense, I respect it, but man, when you can roll out a productive defense, a team that gets after quarterbacks, a team that can really hit hard, turn the football over, mess with the quarterback, confuse the offense, make them feel uncomfortable, make them doubt themselves. I mean, you just have such a leg up. You have such a leg up, right? I have a buddy who's a Vikings fan, and he said it's just watching Minnesota's defense on Sunday is just pure agony because it's just like, the pass defense is absolutely horrendous. Again, 2022 here, not projecting into next season, but he's like, I wish the Jets had a Sauce Gardner. I wish the Jets had more talent in the back end of the defense. And, I know the Jets have been pretty, or have rolled out pretty good defenses historically, but it feels good to say that, man, going into next season, if the offense can just take care of it, get in the end zone, control the ball, we are going to win a lot of football games because the defense is legit. Now, I was actually talking to a buddy who coaches, he's a high school coach, and he actually brought up a really good point. We were talking the other day. He said that don't be surprised if numbers-wise, stats-wise, the Jets defense takes a step back, because last season, as an offensive coordinator, you're going into these games thinking to yourself, okay, the Jets offense is so bad that we don't really need to go out there and put up 40 points, put up 30 points. We could pretty much just score 17, 21, 24 in some cases and walk away with the win. So we're not going to force the issue. We're just going to take what the defense gives us. We're going to be conservative. We're not going to be afraid to punt the football. We're not going to take a lot of chances. We're not going to aggressively try to push the football down the field. So with Aaron, the point he was making, with the offense projecting to be a lot better, expect opposing offenses to really put their foot on the gas pedal, saying, hey, we have to put these guys out quickly, we have to ramp it up, and we have to start attacking this team over the intermediates and deep parts of the field and really just try to put our foot on their throat, really throwing the kitchen sink at the Jets defense. So I never really thought of it that way. I thought it was a really, really good point. But it doesn't change the fact that the Jets are loaded with great players, and all of these guys, again, much like the offensive side of the football, they all fit the scheme, they all fit the culture. These players know where Saleh wants them to be. So I'm not really stressing the defensive side whatsoever. I still believe that they will be, at the end of the season, a top 10 ranked squad. Okay, so this one is a bit controversial And it could go either way. It could either help the Jets massively, it could hurt the Jets. We'll see how it plays out. But right now, just trying to take an optimistic view, we have a new play caller. We have a new offensive coordinator in Nathaniel Hackett. Now, the first instant reaction to a lot of people was, okay, great. The Jets are bringing in somebody who literally got fired not even one season into his head coaching career. That is how bad Nathaniel Hackett was with Denver. He couldn't get the job done with a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver, KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton, a solid running back room, an elite defense, an elite home field advantage. And he was fired. Not even the Broncos did not even want to give him more than one season. That's pretty bad. But I will say this. I found myself a lot last year, midway through games and whatnot, saying just thinking to myself, what is this game plan? Did the Jets, why are the Jets starting out these games so slow? Why is there so much confusion early on? Why are the Jets having to waste timeouts early? What's with the penalties? Why are the Jets running here? Why are they throwing there? Just weird questions. And play calling, game plan, starting out slow, starting out sluggish. I remember a couple games specifically, it just seemed like the Jets offense just didn't even want to be there. And it took them until the third quarter to wake up and start getting in sync. I'm hoping with Nathaniel Hackett, somebody who's a veteran, somebody who's called plays a lot before, in the past, because he has bounced around, obviously Buffalo, Jacksonville, and of course working with the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I'm hoping that the offense looks a little bit more mature, might not be the right word, I guess more polished, more experienced, not so discombobulated. I felt like that's kind of a good word or chaotic too. Last season was just chaotic on the offense side of the football. I'm hoping with Hackett he could come in and kind of alleviate some of the noise, some of the some of just the overall dysfunction that the team really displayed last season. And last but not least, this kind of goes hand in hand with the other point that we were talking about before with the defense, but the Jets have a ton of pass rushers all over the place, on the outside, on the inside, depth players, starters, young players, veterans, pass rushers all over. We got Carl Lawson. We got Jermaine Johnson going into year 2. We got Bryce Huff, somebody who I want to see out there more. We got first-round pick Will McDonald coming into the building. Quentin Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in all of football, one of the best interior pass rushers in all of football. And throwing on top of it, Quentin Jefferson from the Seattle Seahawks. This might be one of my favorite free agency signings that the Jets have made so far. Yes, he's a defensive tackle. Yes, he's not putting up, Quentin numbers. He's not putting up Aaron Donald numbers. But think about this. In a limited role with the Seattle Seahawks, started only 3 games, appeared in 17, but started in 3, limited role. He accumulated 5.5 sacks, 13 quarterback hits. With the amount of talent on this Jets defensive line, coming at quarterbacks from every single angle, Quentin Jefferson is going to have a ton of opportunities to get after the passer himself. And because the Jets have Al Woods in the building, somebody who can step in and help stuff the run, it's not like Jefferson is going to be overworked, overused, or anything like that to where, in the fourth quarter, you're just going to see the guy gas completely. Not in the least. Not in the least. I'm expecting a big season from Jefferson here. Not 12 sacks or anything like that, but I really feel like he's going to make an immediate impact. I would go as far as to say a career year in sacks. 6 to 7, I'm hoping for, just because you have so many. I mean, think about that as an OC for a second. You're playing the Jets. Who do you double there? Who does the running back pick up in shotgun sets, right? Do you want to shift the offensive line blocking one way or another? There's so many different problems that the Jets defensive line, the depth, the talent, so many questions that the OC and quarterback here have to think about on Sunday. I don't want to say the cliche thing of, oh, it's not fair, but man, I mean, we really check every single box, in my opinion, when it comes to defensive line. What do you want? You want experience, you want production, you want pass rushers, you want run stoppers, you want veterans, you want young players, you want guys to really set the tone, you want guys to make plays in the trenches, set the edge. We have it all. So those to me are the 6 main things that jump out the top 6 things that I'm extremely excited about going into 2023, and I would love to hear yours down below in the comments section. So thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.